In Donetsk, they are burying the dead after a fragile September ceasefire fatally frayed. Mourners today at this Russian Orthodox church wept as they laid to rest 2 teenagers killed in a shelling attack near the airport in Donetsk on Wednesday. The teens are 2 of more than 4,000 who have been killed in what increasingly looks like a proxy war between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukraine's government. Separatists have been battling Ukrainian government forces for months in the eastern part of the country with heavy support from Moscow. All this after Russia annexed Crimea earlier this year. While there have been some sanctions against Russia as a result of its aggressive moves in Ukraine, coupled with the shooting down of a passenger plane by the rebels, critics say the consequences have been insufficient. And now Ukrainian officials say Russian tanks are again rolling across the border between the 2 countries.
The movement of military equipment consisting of 32 tanks, 16 D-30 howitzer artillery systems, and 30 Kamaz trucks carrying ammunition and fighters was reported.
The heavy equipment came through the volatile Luhansk region, Ukrainian officials said. In Moscow, the Kremlin called the reports unfounded and provocative. But observers of the region say this fits a pattern of Vladimir Putin throwing his weight around with impunity, knowing no country outside of Ukraine is willing to sacrifice even 1 soldier to stop him.
President Putin is calculating that he can, in the long term, get away with this, and that he can get away with doubling down, continue to take probably more territory in Ukraine.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said earlier this week they were aware of a buildup of Putin's troops on the border.
Russia continues to support the separatists by training them, by providing equipment, and supporting them also by having special forces, Russian special forces inside the eastern parts of Ukraine.
The apparent uptick in military action comes just 1 week after rebel elections in Donetsk, where only pro-Russian separatists were on the ballot, and 1 week before the G20 is set to meet in Australia.
We aren't there yet on the right kind of strategy, the Western strategy that's ultimately going to deter Putin. We've got to find the right approach that deters him, stops him from further aggression. And while sanctions are an important element, it's clearly not sufficient.
If Russia has indeed sent more troops and equipment into Ukraine, will the international community respond?